My safe word will be whiskey.
Sorry, Rod, what was that?
Whiskey.
Your friend's wasted, Anakin.
Check this out!
Pork chop sandwiches.
Freaking pump! I've been drinking green tea all goddamn day!
Oh! Man, he hit his ass with a porky toe, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
God, I go to church every goddamn Sunday. You gonna bring the demons out of me?
No matter what you do, I will be proud of you, even if you receive a liberal arts degree. Baby time. It's baby time. Wait, I wasn't finished.
All right, give him the stick. Don't give him the stick.
Do you know my dad?
Oh, G.I. Joe.
What the fuck? No, this is my hat now. This is totally my hat.
Totally my hat. What's up, y'all? Welcome. We've got a special guest today. We got a punk with toys. So we're just going to get into it and bring him right on out. I saw that Mega Powers went live on their special Saturday dose as soon as I started. So we got some competition. So let's have a good show, everybody. So here comes a punk with toys.
How you doing?
What's up? How's it going?
Welcome to what I deal with every single Monday and Thursdays when the Mega Powers decided that, hey, these are the only 2 days that I can go. And I guess it's just only fitting that they would do this today too.
It's all good. I just had gains on last week, so I guess I owe them that much, you know. So, how are you? What's going on?
I'm great, just busy. Hasbro decided that what you asked for at the beginning of the year was to not give us all the G.I. Joes in the second half. They said, no, that's okay. You get it all now.
Yeah, they're shipping a lot. I saw Big Bad Toy Store has my Cover Girl coming, so I gotta make sure I have the funds for that in a couple of days to get that shipped. And then I got Cigar. Everything's hitting all at once. There's like nothing.
Remember when I told you to go to FedEx and get the box because there's something in it? Well, you just nailed it.
Cover Girl.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that one. I'm not a big Joe person, but she looks so much better than the original Cover Girl that they released. So.
Yeah, she looks better, but I like the red hair because that's what the original actually is. So
it's not even. She doesn't even have brown hair or blonde hair. It's her hair is red. It's supposed to be red.
She has red hair. Yeah.
Wow.
If you look at the original, if you look at the original Cover Girl, she has red hair. It's one of the ugliest figures you'll ever see. The original. The blonde was from the cartoon that was in it. Minor. I mean, just for just a small bit, but all these people think that's what it's supposed to be, and it's like that's not what she's supposed to be. But I don't care. I mean, it's just an extra toy for me.
In the comics, does she have red hair, the IDW and all that stuff, or is she the blonde in that?
She's mostly red, I believe.
See, they got
I
it right.
haven't read the comics in a while. She's not a big. I don't believe she's a big player in the comics, but she was drawn. I mean, she was made red because pretty much the comics and the file cards and everything work together.
Yeah,
and her name is Cover Girl because she was a model. She was a cover.
I mean, girl. That's what I expected, and then I got the original Cover Girl released with the short brown hair, and I'm like, I'm not seeing it here. Where's Cover Girl?
Go look at the O-ring and imagine being a kid and finding out that she's supposed to be a Cover Girl, and you're like, this thing is ugly. Like she has one of the biggest heads. Most of those female, the Baroness and Scarlet, those were like probably I think those are the two first girls. They're like two of the best sculpts. And then you get Lady J, who is awful. Big head, Cover Girl, big head. And hey, don't think I'm ripping on the girls because there's a lot of guys that have big heads too in the line.
I mean, I think that's the thing with the older stuff is like they had the sculpt sometimes, and then a lot of the times the proportions were off just because of the scale. But when you're a kid, you don't really care. You're just playing with the toys. So, all right, let's get these questions started. So I know people already know you, but introduce yourself. Tell us a little about yourself and your channel.
My name is Lawrence, aka a Punk with Toys, or I guess people call me APWT now. People call me Punk, which is weird because I'm in the punk scene, and imagine being at like Pennywise and people saying, "Hey, Punk," everyone's gonna turn around. The whole channel started pretty much because of G.I. Joe. You know, G.I. Joe Classified came out. I didn't really know anything about it, and I saw no one was like comparing them to the O-ring, so it started there. And then it became an obsession, I guess you could say.
Became a job, really.
It became work. I wouldn't call it a job because a job means that I don't have to work at my profession.
True.
It's work, but it's a work that I enjoy. You know, I'm one of the lucky ones. It pays for my habit, I guess is the best way to put it. But yeah, that's it in the nutshell. I do lives 3 times a week. I don't know why. That's not the ones that people ask me to come on, or special missions as they call them. But pretty much do reviews and a lot of Marvel Legends, obviously G.I. Joe, some Mythic Legions, and good stuff like that.
Yeah, that's cool because, you know, you've been doing it. You've been getting the numbers with the subscribers and all that stuff, and you just keep chugging along. And I like how your reviews are just pretty much unfiltered, 29, 39 minutes long. You just go. You're just like, I'm going to talk about this forever. And that's what a lot of people want to see.
So I can tell you this. So, you know, I didn't know how to do YouTube. You can watch it early. I didn't know how to make a video. They were so bad, and you slowly get better and better and better, and your style starts to evolve. You can see if you go back and watch the Super 7 Tigra, me actually getting more and more mad on screen at it. And I believe same with Utaro Tigra, I was really mad. And I'm bringing this up because the reason why I do it from just beginning to end and showing you, and I used to open up everything for a while. No one likes to hear the crinkly, was the cover girl. And my cover girl's arm had come off. It was off as soon as I opened it. Now, someone in the comments said, "Oh yeah, sure it was off. You made a comment in the beginning." And I went, I didn't even realize it. I had to go back and watch it, and I kind of I could hear something rattling, and I said, "Hey, let's hope that's not an arm or something that's off." Well, it ended up being an arm, and as soon as I opened it, he tried to say that I was lying, to say like, you know, basically you're just trying to put down Hasbro or whatever, and it was like, dude, I don't. And I think this was meant to be either right after I got monetized or before. Is that I don't buy toys to break them.
No, who would do that?
Well, there are people. There are people that buy stuff just to tear it apart because they don't like a company. I admit there's companies I don't like, and there are people that own companies that I don't like, but I won't actively go buy something just to tear it down.
No, I won't support it. You know, I won't buy any McFarlane stuff at all anymore. Like, I'm done.
I'll say this. I just watched a interview with Mark McFarlane on carbon scoring, and it was an excellent interview. And I thought McFarlane opened up and said a lot of things that we all say at times. And I'm talking about like how the industry works, but to hear him actually say it and explain it, it was an excellent interview. It was an excellent, unlike the interview that I saw with somebody with Super 7, he's not the owner anymore.
Yeah, that was a joke. I was very mad about that.
That was the biggest softball questions, to the point where he said, I normally don't like blind bag or blind box stuff, but I like this one. And then 2 more times in it, he brought up blind boxes. He's like, that's an excellent idea. I'm like, whoa, you started earlier on saying, but when you start off saying you're one of my heroes, you already know how that interview is going to go.
Oh, geez. Yeah. I think I made a comment on that guy's video. I was like, why are you treating Brian Flynn like he's some sort of hero when he literally has just fired 7 people and is, you know.
And he should not have him on and attack him and be rude to him. It's not what you do when you have someone on, right?
No.
You ask someone to come on, even if you don't like them, and even if you're going to go like toe to toe with them, You should have respect for them. You shouldn't ever bring someone on to sabotage them or to just, drop those little bombs on them. You should have like, hey, I'm going to ask you hard questions. If you're not willing to do it, that's fine. But in no way should you ever have someone come on that's just assault. If that's the type of interview that you're going to do, if you're going to have a conversation like I do on Thursday, then it's not about hardball questions.
Yeah, it's more about getting to know someone and just learning a little bit about how they work. Now, I will say and this is not a slight against Shardamus at all, because I'm sure that was corporately handled. But the way that Todd acted with Shardamus and the way he handled those questions and how Shardamus just kind of had to be like, yep, okay. That sucked. I watched that interview and I was like, I feel bad for Shardamus at this point because people are going to give him so much crap.
That was a bad interview. I know which one you're talking about. And if I do like Russ. I've had him on my show and I've chatted with him. But sometimes, he's not the type that I really see asking questions in that way. Again, there's some people that try and stay out of it. I think Shardamus gets into it more. But I think a lot of times it's the people that are attacking him because they don't like what he's,
and I don't get that. I don't get that. So I wouldn't even a lot of people call Shardamus a shill. And it's like, okay, if you get free stuff and you talk about it and you still have issues with it, you're not a shill. If you're like, this figure's not that great, it's like, just because you like Marvel Legends and talk about it a lot because that's your bread and butter, it doesn't mean you're a shill. I obviously collect Marvel Legends, but I will talk crap about Hasbro all the time when they do something that, and same with Shardamus, same with other people.
Yeah, and there's some people that they're just not about being negative. And again, if you're a reviewer and you refuse to ever point out things that are wrong and it's always stuff that's good, then there's a problem right there, right? Like nothing is always good. And I go back to, where the channel really started catching was with Valaverse, which I no longer collect. All right. I don't like the owner. I just don't like the guy. I don't like how he does stuff, but he makes good product. But before any of this, before I knew anything, all I heard about Valaverse is they were the biggest piece of shit figures or they were the greatest figures. There's got to be an in-between. And my buddy had them. He said, you want to review them? I reviewed them. Were they perfect? Not at all. Were they bad? Not at all. They were good enough that I went into the line and I kept collecting and kept reviewing and gave an honest opinion. So, there's got to be a give and take. You got to be willing to criticize
honesty
things.
Is very important with being a YouTuber and saying, hey, I'm buying this product and talking about it. Because if you're lying about something and saying it's good and people buy it and they're upset with it, they're going to be upset with you. So it's like, why would you put your integrity on the line just because someone gave you something for free? You
just said it. When you do YouTube and you're doing reviews, all you have is your integrity. Like that's all you have. And if people start tuning in and they're like, you know what? All this person says, they point out the good things. Like I saw, and that's why I do it like out of the box. So if like today I did the Cobra Claw. As I was moving her leg popped off. Someone made a comment about it. Wow, right out of the box. Now I moved it and it kind of popped out. It popped right back on. We all know how figures pop apart.
Joints are loose sometimes, it is what it is.
Exactly. So it's, to me, that's one of those things, like it happens, it popped back on. The test of time will be, does it continue? Or is it just because it's been in the high 80s and 90s that the figure was already like, hey,
that heat will make them go all loosey-goosey. They'll start falling apart. And it's not so much the manufacturer's fault. It's just not meant for extreme temperatures like that. So
yeah, and it
sometimes
popped, and I could feel how it came off, and I could feel it pop back on. I have other figures that do it from other manufacturers too. Sometimes they stay on. Sometimes you're like, all right, you got a bad one. It happens.
Yeah, it does happen. I saw that a lot of people are getting that. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, but I didn't cut it out. Like, there's no way that I'm going to cut this out and be like, ooh, let me cut this out.
Yeah, because that's not honest. You'd be like, yeah, this figure's awesome. Nothing bad happened except I didn't show y'all that it came apart when I pulled it out of the box. which, has happened multiple times to me for McFarlane figures. And they do go back together, but it's just like the construction that it can come apart so easily is kind of a problem. And it's something he hasn't gone back and fixed yet. So it's another issue I have with that toy line. And the thing about like hating a toy line or something is I don't hate the collectors. People seem to be like, oh no, you just don't like McFarlane collectors. I'm like, no, I don't like the way that he runs his company, and I don't like the toys that he makes. And I also don't like a lot of things he said as a person. So it's just all these factors that prevent me from buying McFarlane and constantly trolling his releases, because that's just fun to me.
And you know what? That guy could care less. I mean,
yeah,
that's one thing I like the way he runs his company in many ways, where it's like, hey, you know what? I want to keep the product. I want to keep the price down, but I'm going to create more so I can continue it going out. But you got to watch that carbon scoring review. Like,
I'm going to check it out. I'll watch
it. Whether you like Todd or not, the stuff he talks about is really interesting when he explains why he has so many figures like in the aisles compared to some of the other companies.
Oh, I know he was making very much money at the start. He was, blowing all his funds on the molds and the stuff. And now he's making all the stuff that people want and charging more for it to make up for that.
Well, yeah. But again, that's the toy industry right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is, because everything's going up. That Mephisto is $80. That made to order Mephisto.
Oh, did it go up?
Yeah, I got my pre-order in on Pulse. $80, which I was expecting that. I just thought it'd be really funny and cool if they did it like $66.60 or something like that. Like, just
you won't get charged for it until it ships.
That's the main thing. I'm worried about that Dragon Man. I'm like, when is that going to hit? Hopefully when I get my YouTube payout.
Well, I will say this. They talked about it on one of the panels, and they said about seeing an early paint job of it. Wait a minute. You only have the early, I guess not even on the boat then. Because you don't even, it sounds like it's not even a production sample.
I know they got a couple, like they're getting them in like Singapore and Hong Kong and stuff like that. Really? But that's because that's where they're made. Yeah, someone has a Dragon Man in hand. I think it was Mr. Lee, possibly.
And there is a Dragon Man Easter egg in the Fantastic Four.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm trying to go on Wednesday. Trying to go.
It's good.
I've heard that it's totally a return to form for the MCU, and
it's different than anything else, but in a good way.
And that's what we need, though. That's what we need. Like, a lot of the MCU stuff has been very samey, like on the same tone, same vibe.
I don't think this is going to spoil anything. They're on a different Earth. I think everyone kind of knows that.
Yeah, everyone knows that.
You're able to do you're able to go a completely different route, a completely different route. I think the visual aspects of it are a lot like every time there's a new Batman, for the most part, it's like, okay, is it Batman in the 70s? But he has the now technology, or what is it? Because you're always like all the old, because they want to make it look dingy and everything. It's like the 60s. It looks like, but they have technology. Yeah. So I
like
good.
That. It looks clean. It looks very like colorful and different, and I like that. Sorry,
and there wasn't any character that I didn't like throughout it. I think they did a really good job. Now,
so Pedro Pascal haters, be quiet.
I'll say this, and I don't dislike him or have a love for him. I didn't even see Pedro Pascal. I just saw Mr. Fantastic.
That's awesome. Really that's great. Yeah, that's great.
Because again,
Dan, who got him?
You can't watch a Sylvester Stallone movie and not see Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, no, it's always Sylvester Stallone. Or you're always seeing Rocky. One or the other, which I guess is kind of like Sylvester Stallone. So
I think that's what we all think Sylvester Stallone is Rocky.
Joe Adrian. All right, so back to the questions, because we haven't even started them yet. So
well, you had the wrong.
We all know you. I know it's fine. Like I said, we're gonna go for an hour and a half. I get through all the questions I do. If I don't, I don't. It is what it is. I gotta go back to sleep at some point. But so when we all know you skateboard because we already talked about it a little bit. But what was your primary thing as a child? Was it the collecting? Was it the skateboarding? Did they go hand in hand? How did they act with each other? You know, skateboarding.
You know, I went. So growing up, G.I. Joe. I mean, I had a lot of stuff, but G.I. Joe was what I found. During that early childhood, you know, it's like you're kind of deciding what you want, and you're kind of coming into middle school. Toys are kind of going away. I did karate, but I did karate because my mom wanted me to. You know, you start BMXing, everyone's riding their skateboards, and then my mom passed away, and I didn't want to do karate anymore. That was what she wanted me to do, and I just it didn't matter to me anymore. It was always skateboarding. It was just full blown. 13 years old, I just want to skateboard, and I would say 13 to probably around 23. That's really all that I did. Now, we still collected and picked things up. Again, in the late 80s, early 90s, as a skateboarder, you're already at the bottom of the barrel. So if you're picking up toys, like none of your friends are making fun of you because they're playing video games
you're a loser.
Yeah. So for me, other than my kids, skateboarding is the most important thing. It is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. Like I said this 100 times. I hope everyone in their life has something they love as much as I love skateboarding. That's
a very, like, I don't know if I love something as much as you love skateboarding. Like that's saddening to me because, you know, I love my toys. I love my collection, but it's also just a hobby. It's not like something, I do it, but you know, it's different.
Yeah. And I don't do it nearly as much, but I'll tell you what, if a video started playing right now, I would probably be like, oh yeah. Okay. Oh, Rowdy, I'm awful. Like, I could sit there and watch shit, and I'm one of those people. Like, if I can't figure out a trick like what they did, how the hell could the common person that doesn't ride a skateboard know exactly? They're like, well, that was really cool, you know?
Yeah, I sucked back in the day. I was terrible. I could ollie, sometimes kickflip, and sometimes grind a rail. I told you what happened the last time I tried to grind a rail, and never again.
But yeah, for me, again, I don't know what it is. I can't tell you why getting on that four-wheel menace to society means so much, but
going on to that, my next question was about skateboarding, and you still skateboard to this day. Tell us a little bit how it has affected your outlook on life, and do you see yourself doing it forever?
I will skateboard until I can't anymore. I admittedly don't do it nearly as much as I used to. Doing a kickflip takes effort now. Okay. We're back in the day. You just did it. Reviewing a toy takes no effort, and no one's ever sprained an ankle reviewing a toy. But I'll do it. I'll do it to the day I die. And I didn't do it for 10 years, and I never said I quit. But when my son came along, you know, I didn't think that it was fair to leave, you know, his mom at home with her daughter, who I was raised. Well, I was raising at the time, but leave them alone while I'm going out skateboarding after work. And then Olivia came along, so it just took that path of not doing it for 10 years till we split up, and then I went full force into it before I got. You had time. Yeah, before I got into toy collecting like I am now. And I've said this 100 times. I don't want to be in a wheelchair. I don't want to be on crutches. But if at 65, 70 or whatever, I'm in a wheelchair or walking on crutches because skateboarding took its toll on me, I'm okay with that because it happened doing something I absolutely love, rather than those people that say, well, I don't want to do anything like that because I want to be able to walk when I'm 70. I may not be alive when I'm 70.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
But all of us, I'm saying like we don't know what's going to come. So
no, we don't, but we can be hopefully optimistic that we'll all live to be 85 like Harrison Ford and be in fantastic shape, you know?
And again, I'm not trying to say that I don't plan on it, but I'm saying like We don't know what's going to happen. So
Yeah.
to sit there and live with this mindset of like, I want to be able to walk and have my knees when I'm, 80 years old and not do something you love, it makes no sense to me whatsoever.
I'm not going to take any risks because I don't want to, because I'm worried about later. No, just take your fun risks when you can.
It's like the people that like are inbox collectors. You see the toy? Dude, we all saw Toy Story 2, right? We all know what he did, right?
Yeah, get out of the box on his own.
All right.
You want to be played with. Shout out to Codeman617 who's shouting out to me. $2 super chat. We appreciate it. You are awesome, Codeman. We're gonna give you a clip really quick. Let's see what we got here. I got so many. It's hard to find one that fits usually, but I gotta figure out the ones that don't get me a copyright strike because that's not fun.
What the fuck? What the fuck? You're relieved you don't have to go to work because you thought you were gonna get eaten? What the fuck is this world? What have they done to us? What did they do to us?
Thank you, Code Man. I appreciate it. What the fuck? You didn't have to do that, but I appreciate it. That goes to my toy fund. That's the plan. Is any YouTube money that I get is going to toys because I got the ads and all that stuff now. So I appreciate my channel members. I appreciate the super chats. You don't have to do any of it, but I appreciate it.
If you ever want to talk, I will tell you what I do to try and make it work the best, and hopefully it will work for you.
Yeah, obviously, you're a wealth of knowledge. You've helped me a bunch of times with getting my stuff set up and all that stuff, and I appreciate it.
Which I found where to look for reminder set. I did.
Oh, you found it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. You have to go to where I was telling you, but you have to type it in now, and then it populates.
Gotcha. And yeah, you helped me figure out the ad rolls and all that stuff on the live streams. And I was worried about it, but no, you just turn them on after your live stream's over and you don't have ads when you're live. It's great.
Dude, anyone that has, if you're doing lives, please turn off ads while live.
Yeah.
Even if it makes you a little bit of money, unless you have like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6,000 people watching where it adds up. Fuck it. People want to watch what you have to say. But on the replay, doesn't matter. It starts where it stopped, right?
Yeah, if someone's watching this, for instance, and we're talking about something, and then an unskippable 2-minute ad comes up, you just missed 2 minutes of the live stream. So,
which that could be me yelling and screaming. You never know.
Yeah, you never know what it could be about. Chat is popping. Thank you very much for showing up, y'all. I appreciate you. I know, like I said earlier, Mega Powers is on, but we got 16 to 20 hovering in and out. I appreciate it. That's awesome. Y'all are great. Okay, so back to you. Obviously, your channel name is A Punk with Toys. Do you have any stories or favorite moments from punk shows? And who's your favorite punk band?
Okay, so my favorite band is Sick of It All, followed by Pennywise. If anyone, because I've had people ask the question, is it a play on words or are you an actual punk? Like, it's kind of both, right? It's a punk with toys, but yes, I'm a punk rocker. The opening song is G.I. Joe Head Stomp. I was doing G.I. Joe videos. I thought, hey, perfect. There's no words to it. Don't do more than 15 seconds because if you get monetized, you don't get that money.
Yeah, I'll take it from you.
That's why it's all gone at the end. Man, I don't know. I mean, I have some that I probably can't talk about. That are good and bad. But I think one of the best ones was seeing Circle Jerks at St. Andrews Hall in Detroit. And it was on a Friday, and they had this thing called 3 Floors of Fun because everyone knows the shelter from 8 Mile. That's where that's what St. Andrews is. Underneath is the shelter. That's where Eminem was doing his rap battles, right? So 3 Floors of Fun was the shelter, St. Andrews, and then they just had like a balcony, right?
Oh, wow, that's cool.
And the Circle Jerks are playing. But 3 Floors of Fun started at 10. Well, towards the end of the set, the lead singer, Keith Morris, was like, all right, he goes, we're just told that there's something called 3 Floors of Fun. We have to be out of here before 10. We don't have enough to do our whole set. So here's what we're going to do. They'd play like 30 seconds of a song. Now, mind you, Circle Jerk songs are no longer than 2.5 minutes to begin with. They played 30 seconds and 30 seconds of a song, stop and go. All right, that's all the time we have for that one. Next, we're doing like 6 songs. normally you would be pissed off about something like that. Like, dude, but it was fucking hilarious because like they were pissed off about it, but they had to be off. So it was 30 seconds stop. They did it for like 6 songs. The fact that they were able to do it so precisely is what amazed me.
That's such a punk thing to do. All right, the man is telling us we can't play for very long, so we're gonna do it how we want to do it. That's so funny. Oh man. Hold on a second, because we got another super chat from True Star Screamer or Trust a Screamer, depending on never trust a screamer, depending on who you ask. How does Punk not get assaulted by his daughter? I don't know if you've seen it, but she will come up on live streams and beat the crap out of this poor man.
Because she knows better.
There you go. You haven't disciplined her enough. I'm just kidding.
She knows better. She will throw every insult at me. She will sometimes kind of do those little jabs, but she knows like I don't hit. But she also had a thing where she used to, and I have it on video where she used to like punch me in the stomach because she thought it was hilarious. She was much smaller at the time, and I was in much better shape at the time. But that's how I don't get assaulted by her.
I think that's a dad and daughter thing. It's just like, I'm going to beat the crap out of you, Dad. And Dad just have to be like, okay.
Yep. Plus, she knows that if anyone ever assaulted her, well, I'd have to stop her mom. But if it happened in front of me, it'd be way worse.
Oh, I understand.
Her mom is the hothead. We'll just...
So, True Star Screamer, she just got to learn some respect. I'm just kidding. Here's a super chat for you. You get some pork chop sandwiches.
Pork chop sandwiches. Oh shit! Get the fuck out of here! What are you doing? Go! Get the fuck out of here, you stupid idiot! Fuck, we're all dead! Get the fuck out!
Oh wait, he was asking for a friend. This wasn't about him specifically. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you out, Star Screamer. Totally asking for a friend.
No, I recently because True Star Screamer, Trust a Screamer. It is Trust a Screamer. His wife confirmed that while he was on my show. Yeah. I recently said like on a live stream, like if you're friends with him on Facebook, he's always posting stuff of his daughter. And so a quick story. I hate when people say, "Oh, you're a good dad. You pay your child support. You spend time with your." No, that's what you're supposed. That does not make you a good dad. And I had a girl. She's like, "You're such a good dad," and I was like, "I hate when people say that." Like, because I thought I knew what was coming next. And she's like, "Can I finish?" And I was like, "Go ahead." She goes, "Every time you post on Facebook, it's not you. It's you and your kids. They always look like they're happy. Everything you talk about on Facebook is about your kids. Like." You can tell that they make you happy and you do what you can to make them happy. And I literally stopped and I said, I am so sorry. I'm so used to people saying, hey, you're a great dad. You pay your child support. You see your kids. That is the minimum.
That's minimum shit. You know, that's what my fucking dad did. So we don't talk anymore, but you know.
And with him, I said, I think maybe last week or 2 weeks ago, I was like, hey, I just want to tell you, every time I see you posting on Facebook, it's like with you and your daughter, and it's something like that. And I'm like, I absolutely love. Not that you need to hear me tell you that it's awesome to see, but I just wanted to acknowledge it, you know. So
it's nice when people acknowledge that you're doing something right, you know. That's all. And no matter what it is, no matter if it's parenting or toy reviews or skateboarding, whatever, you know.
You're absolutely right. I've never been, and I never will be someone who needs a pat on the back. I don't need someone to tell me I'm doing a good job, but it's always nice to hear.
Absolutely. And speaking of things that are nice to hear, MTC with another super chat. Long time punk, first time rowdy. Well, welcome. I appreciate having you here. We're going to give you another clip. Hold on one second. It's hard for me to find ones. I got to remember which ones don't get me a copyright strike. I got to go through and delete those ones. So you get drunk, you won.
Baron von Yolo. Here's the deal. First, you are going to fetch me a scotch, and then I am going to dance. Dance floors are our speciality.
Your friends wasted, Anakin.
Yo! Check this out!
I've never seen that.
Shout out to Oralonauts. Check out Oralonauts. I will, because they did the whole prequel trilogy, and it's
oh my gosh,
so
that
funny.
that is amazing,
Right?
like,
Isn't it?
like because again, how many of those things have you seen where it's like take out the music and it's a whole different movie, right? And like hearing them come up there and obviously the voiceover, but when they start taking everything off, you're like, oh my god, it does look like it's about to be a dance off. When he says your friend is drunk, we've all, again, I've never drank in my life. I'm straight edge, right? But we've all had that drunk friend who you look over and you go, oh shit.
Oh my god, here we go again.
Right there.
That's everyone there. Oh man, you have to watch. So they redubbed the entire prequel trilogy. Obviously it's shortened, but so 3PO is Creepio, and his whole thing is he's really mad that he doesn't have skin. So he's always trying to he's like, I desire flesh. I was promised flesh. Why have you awakened me to this nightmare? It's so funny. Like it's the greatest thing ever. So check out Oralonauts, everybody. Great redub. It's kind of like BLR, but just on a whole nother level. Some funny shit. Oh man, Menjoza almost drowned from laughing. Sorry.
Whoa. Wait, what's his name?
Menjoza.
Thank you.
Sorry, I apologize, Menjoza. All right, so back to you. I know the punk and metal communities are very similar in that it's all about, being connected, supporting each other, being there for each other. Have you found that that's the same in YouTube for the most part?
Ooh, I feel like I'm sabotaged here. I feel like this is a setup. Yes, and you know what? It is exactly like that. And the reason why I say that is you say the metal and the punk scene are really connected. I'm going to tell you that they're not, because the metal, so much of metal comes from punk, right? But not vice versa.
Yeah.
And punk people want to have nothing, not all of them, obviously. They want to have nothing to do with metal. Where the metal guys, they may not be going to punk shows, but most of them really like punk.
Like punk.
And I feel like, yeah, I have a huge connection with so many people, but then there are some people that I do not like. I see a lot of bullies on here. And I have no problem, saying, that I don't like certain people, but I also don't need to like everyone. I don't need everyone to like me. Like I'm never going to be that person. And there are certain people that they have friends that I do not like and they don't like me. And I'm cool with that, because again, just because I don't like someone doesn't mean any of my friends should have to feel the exact same way. But yeah. I do feel like there's a tight-knit community, but there are cliques no matter how you look at it.
Absolutely. And I or True Star Screamer kind of hit it on the head. It's just, punk and metalheads were very about the image and all that stuff. But when it all comes off, we're just chilling. We're just, not you obviously, but smoking up and just having a good time partying, just listening to music. And that's really what I was trying to put across with that, is that when it comes to just being at the show or watching your YouTube channel just to be there and hang out and enjoy it and talk to people. Because that's how it is when I've gone to, because I used to go to all kinds of concerts. I've been to Warped Tours, I've been to Mayhem, Ozfest, I've been to punk shows, I've been to metal shows, I've been to pop shows. And I find that, like Warped Tour, for instance, everybody is there looking out for each other. You're in the pit, you get knocked down, somebody pulls you up, whether it's a punk show or a metal artist on there, it's all.
That's how it should be. Like someone falls in the pit, you should pick them up. Now, I will put a caveat on that. When someone is in the pit and they're acting like an asshole and they fall, I'm not going to kick them when they're down, because that's fucking bullshit. But I also don't have to pick them up. Because after a while, you're like, you know what? I'm done with you, man. Like, you are just a nuisance in here. You don't belong in here because you don't know what the hell you're doing. No one is here to hurt one.
If you're there to hurt people, you're not there for the right reasons. If you're there just to mosh and throw hands, you're not there for the right reason. And punks won't have it. Metalheads won't have it. You'll get your ass kicked and you get your ass kicked out. That's what will happen.
It's like hockey, right? Hockey is a violent sport. People are getting banged into the boards, but you only fight when someone's acting like an asshole. You're not out to fight. That's what the enforcers are there for, to make sure people don't do that. And you should have that in every community.
Yeah. Have you seen the Goon? Speaking of hockey,
the Goon, as in the wrestler, the Goon.
No, the movie. It's Sean William Scott, and he's
I have not, but I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah. It's a great hockey movie.
I thought you were talking about the professional wrestler that was a hockey player.
No, I didn't.
These like awful boots that were like made to look like skates. I don't know how he wrestled. He didn't really wrestle. He wasn't.
I never remember
the Goon. All right.
Yeah, Goon, not the Goon. Goon. Sorry, thank you, Leia. But you know how it is sometimes. I got this thing with me, so. So going back to you. So you were talking before this, and you said you had a whole room of G.I. Joe O-rings, because that's obviously what you collected when you were younger. But do you like that that everyone now is making new O-ring figures, or do you wish that people would move away from that, try new things? Like, how do you feel about that in general?
So that's a loaded question right there. I've often said that if the majority, not the majority of my collection, but a big bulk of my collection, like the USS Flag, the Terradrome, headquarters, I mean, so many things weren't my original stuff, I probably would have sold them off. But when you have that connection to it, it's something that your mom and dad got you, and obviously losing my mom, it means a lot to me. So when I transitioned into the 6-inch, I still was picking up O-ring stuff, and I still do, because you want to try and complete the collection, and G.I. Joe is huge, right? But as I do my reviews with Classified, I always like to compare them to the original if I have it. The more I looked at when I would do the comparison, and I'm just going over, hey, this, they did this on the Classified. You start noticing things that you didn't see in the past on the O-rings. And then I started doing those classic reviews. I think I started right at the beginning of the year because I have so many of the figures. And the more and more I looked at them, I'm like, I want more O-rings. There's something very special about them. So Delta 17, it also helps being friends with Ken and Steve. But even before that, I did back like 4 figures from Call Sign Longbow and Operation Recall.
Eagle Force, is that another one that's doing O-rings?
No, Eagle Force is a modern 4-inch figures. And that's the Fresh Monkey Fiction. So there's the O-rings, which are 3.75 figures normally, and then there's the modern 4-inch, which is actual 4 inches that have more modern detail. So the 1/18th room is mixed with all of that, because I have no problem mixing the two. A lot of people, a lot of people can't. Like, you cannot mix a McFarlane and a legend. The scale is just way, it's not even close, right? But I can do that with the 4-inch. So I like that it's coming back, and I don't want to say it's coming back, but I like that people are still doing it. But by no means do I think that there's a resurgence and that it's going to overtake 6-inch, because in my opinion, it's the same people that are buying it over and over and over.
That makes sense. And anyone who grew up with it, essentially.
Yeah. And there is a place for it. So I don't want anyone to say you're saying there's no, there's a place for modern 4-inch, there's a place for O-rings, there's a place for 6-inch, there's a place for 12-inch figures, right? But as of right now, and I don't see it changing anytime soon, 1/12 scale is where it's at. We're older. You see these? I don't wear these because they look fucking awesome. I wear them because I fucking need them.
You can see the little details. Yeah, I'm blind. I should always be wearing my glasses. I have a restriction on my license. And then I put them on and I'm like, oh, this is vision.
I didn't start wearing glasses to 39.
Wow.
And I think I've forgotten to wear them one time, and I realized how bad it was. Let's be honest. If we are the collectors my age, I'll be 50 in December. If we are the collectors of where it's going, we're gonna be back to 12-inch because we're gonna be like, all right,
look at my new figure.
I need bigger again, all right?
Then you gotta get into Hot Toys.
Sex dolls. We'll just have our own sex dolls and be like, hey, look at this. I can see everything.
I mean, they are making them. They're making that 1/3 scale Cammy and Chun-Li that are just completely naked under their clothes.
I did not know anything about that.
Yeah,
I feel like that's something that our boy Gaines would be into.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it, and he's going to show up. He's going to stop Mega Powers and be like, I got to go. My gain sense is tingling. What's up, Cass? How's it going? Yeah, that was fun. Toy Gaines is a great guy. If all y'all watching don't know Toy Gaines, you should, but for sure go check him out because he's a cool dude.
Don't do it right now.
Don't do it right now. Do it after. Do it after. They'll still be live probably. And I also want to get Jerk on here and talk to Jerk. I know you had him on. Let's talk about your Thursday with the friends. Let's plug your. I think it's your main thing. I think that's what you do best is having someone on and just pulling everything out of them. So let's talk about that. How did that come about? How do you plan it out? So because you plan it out months in advance usually.
Usually it became something like that. So I'll say my Monday show, that is my biggest show. Is what everyone tunes in for. My Thursday with a friend, that is the thing I'm most proud of. So the way Thursday with a friend came about was I would always be in these in all these streams, especially the bigger ones where there's like 300-400 people watching, and I'd see people and I always wonder like, hey, what is their story, right? Like I thought there was a lot of people like Thanos Copter, Brick Something, like highly articulated. I thought these guys were like big YouTubers because they were always having their comments highlighted on like Geek Dead Life and Toy Anxiety. Come to find out, like Thanos really doesn't even have a channel, very minor.
It's got an Instagram with some crazy pictures.
Instagram, all right. I love Thanos, man. I love like, but like they don't really have big channels, which I found kind of odd. So when I finally started doing lives, and I'm very precise and particular, setting everything up, I wanted it to be my Monday show. I wanted to start having people on to get to know them, not talk about toys. I talk about toys enough. I didn't need to, but I thought other people must be asking the same question. Like, who the hell is Menhoza, right? He's in my channel all the time, right? He's on my streams all the time. He's making comments. He thinks I don't like him for some fucking odd reason. I have no idea why. But it's like, I want to know about him. Woody, right? I want to know about Woody. And
Woody's awesome.
And I've had Woody on, right? But to me, it was like, the only thing I needed to talk to somebody. I can't talk to an avatar because there is no facial expression. I don't know what you're thinking, like your emotions that are coming out. And I didn't want to talk toys. I wanted it to be your life. And I haven't had a repeat guest on because I figure, hey, we're starting from birth till now. How much is going to change in 2 weeks? I see the same fucking big toy tubers constantly bringing on the same people over and over and over. And my thing was, hey, I want to bring people on, but I want to bring people on that support me. And Allison was actually my first Thursday with a friend, right?
I'm going to be on her drawing or coloring stream tomorrow. So,
and you'll go for 2 or 3 hours because
it'll be fun.
You think I can talk?
I'm looking forward to it.
And so I wanted to bring on, but I didn't want to go out and get like Geek Dead Life or some toy maker, right? And nothing against them, but they don't support me. And not that they hate me, but they don't really care or know who I am or watch. I wanted people like you, Woody, all these other people that have supported me, Allison, and helped me grow the channel. And if they were smaller, that's even better because now I'm giving them a spot for people to see and get to know who they are. And it doesn't matter if you supported me on Instagram, YouTube, on Facebook. If you're just somebody that has supported me, I have someone hopefully that she's going to come on in September. She's like no one knows who she is. She just comments on my O-ring stuff. And she's like, I don't know how interesting I'll be. I don't know if anyone wants to hear from me. I'm like, I don't care if other people do. I want to
exactly.
I want to know who you are. because you supported me. So that's how that all came about. And it's to bring in people that I see in my chat that are supporting me. I also vet and see who I can and can't have a conversation with. I'm not shy, all right? There are some people that are harder to hold the conversation with. And again, I'm not hard to.
No, you'll talk the whole time. It's fine.
Yeah. But that's where that whole thing came from. And in all honesty, at first, there was a lot of me saying, hey, we're not here to talk toys. This is about the person. Because sometimes things would break and you're like, shit, dude. I already know the questions that are coming. They've just dropped 4 new G.I. Joes. I already know the questions. And then Matthew, my moderator, would be like, hey, that's not what the show is about. Right? Not in a rude way, but just let people know. There was one guy I'll never forget. He came in and said something. I didn't even respond to it because Matthew was like, hey, that's not what the show is about. It's about the person they're on. And he said, hey, that's cool. Talk to you later. I'm out. Not in a rude way. And I just thought it was the funniest fucking thing in the world.
Yeah, that is funny. That is pretty funny. Hey, we're not talking about today. All right, I'm out. Bye.
What's fine? He's like, I'm not interested. Cool. Like, he didn't have to be like, well, that's a dick. Like, no. Like,
yeah.
You know, I'm not interested.
He accepted it and he moved on. That's great, you know?
And due to that, I've watched that show go from 10 people to 15 people, if I'm lucky, watching, to 50 to 60 people at times watching. And you got to understand, like, to take somebody to only talk about their life, not talk about, hey, the breaking news and toys, when that's what we are as toy tubers, to me, it's very... It makes me extremely happy to be like, people are tuning in because, again, if I have Allison on, I'm not overly concerned about the people that already know her, right? It's the people that don't know who she is that's like, holy shit, she has her own channel.
She's very funny too.
Yeah, she doesn't even talk toys, right? Like, for the most part. So it's things like that, and I've been extremely proud of that because that show has just... it's gotten better and better. And I've had some guests that I'm just like, I don't think anyone's going to watch. And there's some of the highest rating ones that you get. But the true test is when you look at the replay and how many people are watching it on the replay the next couple of days, because that's when you're like, all right.
Yeah, like when you'll know when people really like what you put out, because the live stream is a good, obviously it's live. So you get people pop in, but then you have your whole subscriber base. And if they're clicking and watching that, that's awesome. Because they're like, I'm interested in this. And people don't think that they're that interesting. But the thing is, we all have a different story. So we're hearing things we haven't heard before, you know?
Yeah. And I'm not like, hey, and no offense, because you're asking me questions. I'm not like, question here. I got to answer the, like, I'm just like, hey, let's talk about, I don't have a script or anything or questions. I used to, but I know what I'm like. I'm going to ask about how you were born, your childhood. Did you have siblings? The first toys you played with? Hey, you went into middle school. You know, I just have a course and it's just a conversation. And that's why they go 3 to 4 hours at times.
And I kind of took a little bit from you in that not talking about toys all the time. Like, I do have toy questions because obviously we're toy tubers, but exactly. I try to learn about the person because that's why I want to have them on.
If you had me on to talk about me and you didn't ask about skateboarding or toys, you'd be doing a total disservice to me in general because you're having me on to talk about me. I love talking about me. But the other people, that's part of you. That's what they want to know about. So, but also, like, that's not all we do, right? At least I hope not. I don't know. My moderator, it's all he does. So
I play a lot of Magic the Gathering with my girlfriend. So that's one thing we do. And then I do my toy tube thing. And then I just fucking work.
Ooh, I would love to ask you about the Spider-Man figures that are Magic the Gathering.
Ask me about it because I'm going to buy them. I'm going to buy them.
Yeah, just because that's how we met was over the Maximum Spider-Man.
Hey, I love that figure. I really do. I'm mad that they're using the Renew Your Vows for that Magic the Gathering Battle Damage Spider-Man instead of Maximum, but I understand why they're not.
Be mad if they were reusing the Maximum Spider-Man for that.
No, because I think it's the best Spider-Man body. I think every Spider-Man should be made on that from now on.
But that's why you paid $50 for it, because it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be special.
Yeah. But when they do the symbiote on that body,
I want to say something, that Maximum Spider-Man, the hate that it had, and then to watch the 180 with so many people that are like, I still don't think it should have been 50, but I like this. And my question will always be, have you gotten $50 worth out of it? I'll tell you what, I think it's awesome. I hardly play with it. You know what figure I play with all the time? Some Hulk. All the time. I love that fucking figure.
That's crazy. I mean, I like him. I got him for $5. So for that price, I can't complain at all. What's up, Shane? How's it going?
$5. Do you mind me asking?
So I had done a medical study and I got like a $60 Amazon gift card. Okay. And I used $10 for a light, and then it covered like 55 of the Maximum Hulk, and then the tax was like $5 or something. So I paid $5 out of my pocket. That's all I paid for him, in my opinion.
That video, unlike most Marvel Legends, did awesome for me. I think I paid $1 for him because of how much I made off him.
That's pretty good.
It doesn't really happen with G.I. Joe a lot, but for Marvel Legends and for one that's $60, I'll take it every day. And it's something I enjoy. That
Mephisto is $80, $79.99.
I don't see myself getting that, but I have a feeling I'm going to be backing it, because that's one of those ones. Even if you're like, you back it, and you're like, you get it, and you're like, I don't really want it, and you look at it, and you're like, well, if it's double the price, everyone had the chance to get it. I don't want to hear about it.
Because they're pre-order, and once it's a 30-day pre-order window, and once that's gone, that's the run. So they're limited quantity, so people are gonna want it.
From what I saw, it does look awesome, but I haven't seen it go up yet. So order it after this.
Hasbro Pulse tried to tell me I couldn't pre-order it, and I just kept hitting submit, and they're like, "Oh, okay, you got your order through." And I was like, "That's what I thought."
Would that work for Cold Slither too?
I don't know, because I was fully expecting that shit to sit there, but apparently it was gone in like not like sit there like nobody wanted it, but I was expecting they would make enough.
Cold Slither? It was gone within a minute.
That's what I heard.
But they're making more. So the pre-order window is on 8/1.
Yeah. So, and that's when those Magic the Gathering figures go up too. And I'm who knows? They're $40 a pop, but I got the YouTube monies now. So
and don't worry about the Amazon.
I've got like $3 from them so far. So if y'all, and I let you know that it's an affiliate link, but if you feel like pre-ordering something and you see the link on my page or on Punk's page, click it, because it'll help us out. You're just getting the figure, and then we get commission, which is nice.
Here's what I'll tell you: anything you're ordering, anything from Amazon, go to someone that you know that you like. If they have an Amazon link, click it, and whatever you order off that is also they'll get commission for. Or
the whole website,
anything.
Oh wow!
So if I go right now, let's say you have Maximum Spider-Man on there. I click on Maximum Spider-Man. I'm like, I don't fucking want this, but damn, I need this fucking mini fridge. And I go to order the mini fridge, and I'm like, you know what? I need a bowling ball. I don't know why you need a bowling ball off Amazon, but whatever. Nor do I know where bowling ball came from. You'll get commission on all that. So every time Allison, and I hope I'm not breaking any secrets here, anytime Allison wants to order something, she hits me up, especially something big, and she's like, hey, send me a link. And I do the same thing for her. A lot of times I just click on like an old link she already gave me. I was going to Allison so much, and the first thing that she had was this specific type of paper. So fucking Amazon wouldn't leave me alone about the goddamn paper. Like, you might like this paper. I'm like, I don't like the fucking paper. It's just this is the first thing Allison.
You might want this. No, somebody else's. I don't need it. You're speaking of cat litter MTC, and my cat showed up. So speak of the devil, and she shall appear. Yes, there's many kitties in this house. But back to you. I had a question about your mascot, Roman, who's not there right now. He's somewhere, but he's not in the room.
He's with my daughter.
But he's become your official mascot. Everyone's like, I'm here for Roman. So talk about how that happened.
Wow. I mean, it was never meant to be, that's for sure. He'd start whining when we were live. And if Olivia's here, no problem. I can yell for her. She'll come pick him. She'll come get him. The biggest problem is the kids don't walk outside. Like sometimes they got to walk outside in the backyard, or he'll just kind of walk out and then come right back in. Like walk outside for 30 seconds and he'll roam around and then he can open the screen door himself. So you just leave the door cracked and go sit down and wait till he comes in, but they won't. So I think he continues to come up here. But Olivia also told me that she goes, because I'm like, I let him out before I go live. And she's like, I think because you talk different when you start your show, he thinks there's something going on. So then he wants to come in. But if you notice recently, he doesn't bother me as much. He kind of just comes in here, he sits up here, but he started getting up on my lap and he started barking and they just started like Roman. And then you see the little pictures and I have the Roman Duke shirt that I have. And I think people rather see Roman than me, which I don't.
I mean, the thing is, animals are very cute.
Yeah.
People's preference for cute is up for debate, but animals are generally always cute to people, So that's the thing. Cute little dog will always do well.
Even when a dog is really ugly, it's still pretty cute.
Yeah, no, it's the personality for the ugly dogs. They have to have a good person. I'm just kidding. Just like people.
Yeah, so that's how Roman came about. It was never planned, that is for sure.
How old is Roman?
I believe he's going to be 9 on September 11th.
So he's still a baby. He's still got a long time.
I sure hope so. I hope so because, he, I didn't have him when my ex and I split. She took our old dog, which Sheldon is still kicking it. He's a little Bichon and Shih Tzu mix. Every now and then you'll see him with me, like if she goes out of town and I have to watch him, right? So, when she left, it was either when I didn't have my kids, sit at home and be miserable and upset because my kids aren't here, or go out and skateboard. And that's what I did. I went out and skateboarded, and a friend of mine had posted about a dog needing to be rehomed. And for some reason I asked, and she's like, "You want a dog?" I'm like, "Nope, not at all. I don't even know why I'm asking." And then I used to go up to this girl's work. She was a waitress at a restaurant, obviously, and they would have she worked every Sunday, so I'd go up there every other Sunday, and they had an outside spot, and she was like, "Hey," she goes, "that dog's here if you're interested." I'm like, "I'm not." And then when she came back, I'm like, "Let me see it," and he was absolutely awesome. I talked to the people. I said, "What? Why are you getting rid of him?" And they're like, "Well, we have 2 other dogs in the home. We just think he's a 1-dog home. He's getting bigger than them. They're nipping at him. We're worried that he's going to assert that he's an alpha. He's an alpha. I mean, he's fine when Sheldon's here. They don't even talk. Other dogs, like big dogs, he's not good with at all." And I said, "Well, what's wrong with him?" And they're like, "Nothing. He's cage trained, completely potty trained. We have dog food. He's chipped. He has all his shots. He was, I think, 9 months old."
Oh, he's a baby.
Yep. And I said, "Well," I go, "how much do you want?" "We don't want anything. We just want him to go to a good home." I said, "Okay." I said, "Can you be up here next week? Because I have my kids next week. I'll bring them up. If he's good with them, I'll take him." But they said, "We can also get him fixed." I go, "Can you do that?" Because where they live, they could get it done for free. But I'm like, I'm not home. I can't take care of him. So
yeah,
sure enough, I brought him up. Kids fell in love with him. I go, "He's ours if we want him." They didn't believe me. I said, "Yep." I dropped them off at their mom's. I go to the skate park. I was there maybe a half hour. And then the text started. And I got the riot act. "I can't believe you would get a pit bull. If anything ever happens to our kids, I'm not like," and I'm like, "Hey," I'm like, "do you really think that I would bring a dog around? For some odd reason, at that time, Susan had an issue thinking pit bulls were aggressive.
It's the people. It's the owner. It's not the dog.
This dog absolutely loves my ex, and my ex absolutely loves him. Like, and like when he's like super crazy when she's there, not just me anymore, but my daughter would be like, Roman, she didn't even like you. And like she does not like hearing that, but it was true. But her whole tune changed when she got to meet him, and see how he is. And that dog, even though he sleeps with me, his person that he's going to protect first is my daughter. So I feel good about having him here.
Absolutely. That's awesome. He's a very cute dog. He's a very good dog.
He's awesome.
My cats aren't very protective. They just, the one that keeps popping up on screen, she's the hunter of the house. She's 8 pounds. She's a tiny little baby. But if there's a bug or something, we had a mouse in our house one time, and she would catch it, and she would walk up to us and be like, look what I got. And then you know what she would do? She would let it go and go catch it again and bring it back to us. And I'm like, no, hold on to it so I can take it and put it outside where it belongs. But the mouse didn't make it, obviously, because she found a new toy that she liked. So looks can be deceiving when it comes to animals, because she's a hunter. Little 8-pound hunter.
Roman got a groundhog one day.
Oh my goodness!
Right before we were going to St. Louis, and we had all these groundhogs, and usually they're fast. I've seen them jump over the fence, and I let Roman go. The groundhog went out. He kind of got stuck at the play set, or else I think he would have made it. And then he goes around it, and then I'm watching, and both kids are watching it too. And I went, oh. And he grabs it and throws him up about 10 feet in the air, comes down. Now, this groundhog popped up in a defensive stance and then crawled into the neighbor's yard, who also have 2 pit bulls.
Oh, no.
And the poor little guy died. And Roman's barking at him. The flies were circling before he was dead. I had to go tell my neighbors. I'm like, don't let your dogs out. Roman killed the groundhog and went over there. And funny thing is, we go to St. Louis, come back. My neighbor's like, we haven't seen any groundhogs since then.
Yeah, they saw what happened.
Yeah,
like, we're getting the hell out of Dodge. Would you want to be around if a giant monster came and tore your friend apart? I don't think so.
Well, the neighbor, one of their pit bulls has gotten 2 skunks in their yard.
Oof.
Yes.
Skunks smell so bad.
They got one in the backyard. The other one was dead in front of my house. And I went and told them, I'm like, hey, just so you know. And they're like, oh, yeah. I was out there at 3 a.m. with him, and he jumped the fence to get to the skunk. That's how much one dog hates skunks.
I mean, skunks are cute. Like, they are cute. But they smell bad. Like I live in Virginia. I don't know if you smell skunks, but this year, I don't know what it is. I have smelled so many skunks this year. My window's open. There's skunk from it. I'm driving down the highway. I smell skunk. I don't know what's going on.
I had to abruptly stop a stream at like 11 because Roman got sprayed by a skunk.
Oh God.
And I had nothing to clean them. I had two things that I needed. I needed baking soda, which I had to go to my neighbor, and she's like, "Oh my God!" I'm like, "Do you have any baking soda?" But he got sprayed a whole bunch of times because my neighbor has this old shed that the skunks would live in.
Oh my God! Yeah, they're stinky little buggers. But you get their scent glands taken out. They can be like a little cat running around your house. They're cute. They're very cute. I don't know. I like animals. Let me see. So
I think Same Time Toys remembers. Shane, were you watching?
God,
I literally went. I go. Andrew's like, Roman got sprayed by a skunk, and as soon as he came in the house, because he went right into his cage and he closed it, you could just. I go, Roman.
How'd you let him inside?
Because it was cold out.
Oh, okay.
You couldn't leave him out.
Yeah, no.
Yep.
You have to deal with the smell. Oh God, I can't imagine having that smell in your house. That you
get so used to it because it lingers that like you're like, oh, it's gone. And then you come back in, like you go to work and you come back and you're like, oh my gosh. Or like I'd be here, I'm like, oh, it's done. And then Susan would show up to pick up the kids or drop something off. And she'd be like, oh, your house.
What does that smell?
Like, it doesn't smell. I'm like,
You see, my whole house smells like skunk. Oh, dang.
Yeah.
So San Diego Comic-Con is going on right now.
Yes,
is there anything you've seen so far that you're excited about? I think we'll cap it off with that.
Well, they showed off a lot of G.I. Joes. I mean, a lot.
Go figure.
Yeah, so there's a lot of G.I. Joes that I am extremely excited about. I don't think I can go into everything because I can't even think of all the stuff. They have two of the original OG figures. They look good. They got the Ghost Viper. They just showed off so much stuff.
You mean the glowing wolf with human accessory?
Yes. We don't know if it glows yet, though. I hope it.
It looks. I hope it does.
I don't think it does because I think it's the same translucent that is Crystal Ball, and he doesn't glow. But I hope there are some aspects of it. Pythona looks awesome, even though Cobra La is stupid. But I think that will go with Mythic Legions if you want that. I think that's going to be a hot one that people like. I think the Street Fighter stuff is really cool. I like what they do with their stuff. But they showed off the rest of their wave, and it looks like they're going into alpha. Yeah,
they're making it. They've had 3 figure reveals so far, and they look great. They just revealed Chun-Li today.
Oh, I haven't seen. Obviously, there's been a lot that's been being shown. I stay away from it unless it's G.I. Joe or something I'm really into. I stay away from it until like Saturday or Sunday when I'm doing my show, and then I see all that stuff. Fresh Monkey Fiction. They showed off the new Gridiron line. Only one figure right now, but again, it's going to be same bucks for the most part that the Fresh Monkey Fiction stuff does with Operation Monster Force. That's just another line for me to get into.
And they're making NPCs, which is really cool. They have like a cheerleader, a priest, and that's really cool.
Yeah. I swear, and I know they're not friends, but Fresh Monkey Fiction, who is now working with Big Bad Toy Store, I feel like they already have, Valaverse has a problem with them and everyone else, it seems, that they're trying to put him out of business. And I swear the next step is going to be when BBTS goes, you know what, we're done doing exclusives and selling your products because of the way you attack people.
Yeah, I think that there's room enough for all of these military lines. I think there's plenty of room and plenty of demand. That's the only thing I'll say about that, because it's everyone should have the opportunity to make what they want, regardless of whether they're smaller or larger,
Oh, I agree 100%. I did notice that Mezco did not show off any new G.I. Joes, which is very disappointing.
I've heard they were good, like the Storm Shadow and the Snake Eyes and the
I like
Firefly.
The majority of them. Some of them, I mean, they have their limitations, in my opinion, because of the soft goods. But the Destro is one of the best figures. Like, it's so good. Same with the Roadblock.
They made a bunch already. Then.
Yeah, they made, I think, eight different ones, and two of them are Snake Eyes, but 2 different versions of Snake Eyes. I did get my. They haven't sent it yet, but they did create the label for my Mezco Rumbler. I don't know why. I don't know why. The
only experience I have with them, like at their store, is Indiana Jones, and it said it was going to ship in July, and it shipped in December. After I had done my top 10 video last year, I was like, well, that's a long time. That's a big difference between times.
That sounds about right. The Mezco is awful for a lot of theirs, other than the Rumble Society, because they normally have that in stock. And you buy that, and when it's done, it's gone. The Mezco Hulk, I'm sorry, the Mezco Hulk, he looks old. Like,
he looks very penisy to me. Like, there's a lot of bumps and veins and ridges on him. It's a lot. It's a lot to look at. Sorry for the language, but that's just what came to. I don't think it's terrible. I just think it reminds me a lot of. Leia said it. He looks like the Edward Norton Hulk, because that Hulk was very like muscular and striated and just kind of like had a lot of lines in him, and it looks like they put a black wash over this Hulk too, instead of a green wash. And it looks kind of dirty. He's got a really big head. But Mezco all have big heads, so that's just par for the course with them. You get what you know what you're signing up for when it comes to Mezco. It's their own style, you know.
The the Marvel Legends, that the World War II Wolverine looks amazing. I mean, that's just gonna fit in with any G.I. Joe or whatever.
Yeah, you can put them there with the Joes.
Yeah, or just Marvel Legends.
Howling Commandos.
Yeah, all the X-Men 97 stuff. Although I think it's really stupid, I feel like Hasbro, you don't learn your lesson. Why would you start another HasLab while one is still going? You should have learned your lesson years ago when you had the Sky Striker and the Rancor and the Proton Pack all going, but you didn't. So yeah, it's one of those. I think that HasLab looks good, but why? Why?
Is that the Star Wars one you're talking about with the gunship? Haven't they made that gunship before?
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is a specific one, I believe. But they had them at the matter of fact, I bought one for like $5 at Walmart.com many years ago, and I made a pretty profit off it years later when it was just sitting in the box. And it was worth like $100 or something. And
I didn't see the price, but I think people were saying that it's very expensive. $450?
I think it was $450.
Oh my god, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna fund.
I think it will because it's vintage.
That's true.
Let's see here. It is it 450 or 425? 450. Yep.
Either way, it's too much.
It has a stand though.
Oh, well, never mind. Take it back.
I haven't seen any of the tiers. It looks cool. It's hollowed out though, and now I'm looking at it right now. I'm like, it's completely hollow in the middle. It looks awesome, but that's what you get. You know, again, it's not even Black Series either.
No, it's vintage. They failed. Every Black Series HasLab that they've done, they failed. Rancor, Riva's lightsaber, all that stuff, and they did horrible. Well, Rancor, everyone had a hard line. They said, if you don't release Tila and you don't release the Rancor Keeper, it's a no-go. And Hasbro just ignored that shit completely.
Well,
you know.
So I will say this: they are bound by what Lucasfilm tells them that they have to do.
Yeah.
So like Riva's lightsaber, I know was not their choice. That was something that was kind of, hey, you have to do this. That thing was dead on arrival. All right. That thing did worse than Cookie Monster, I believe. And if you guys don't know, there was a Cookie Monster HasLab.
That's insane.
I know people think it's a joke, but there was well before I was doing anything. But they're not allowed to do Slave Girl Leia. I know she's called something else. She's Slave Girl Leia. All right, that's what everyone knows.
They call her Hut Slayer Leia.
Yeah, exactly. But she's Slave Girl, right? So, but they also don't say Slave One anymore because
it's the Spitfire now. Boba Fett's Spitfire or something. Like, why? Don't change the name.
The Fire Spray.
Or Fire Spreader, yeah.
Okay. So the Fire Spray is the name of the model. I think the Fire Spray is a really cool name for a ship, but it's called the Slave One.
Yeah, not for a ship that already has a name established for 40 plus years, you know?
Cookie Monster has it was
unironically badass. CJ remembers.
So they weren't allowed to do Slave Girl Leia, but the fact that you tried to do in a Rancor and you didn't start and say right away, here's the Rancor Keeper. I don't know what his name is. That made no sense. And then on the last day, you're like, we're going to give this. And you literally had like a fucking drawing from like a 4-year-old that did it. Like you couldn't even, like, come on, dude. Like you guys, like how, like no one wanted the Rancor without the Rancor Keeper.
And then they had cardboard background as a tier, and Luke Skywalker, which we had, it was an update, which they released anyway. But it was still just Luke Skywalker. It was like, what are you offering us other than this Rancor for this $400? Nothing.
And see, these are things I know are bound. And I can tell you, talking to somebody at Joe Fest last year, when the G.I. Joe HasLab came out at for San Diego Comic-Con, everything got switched and it got pushed back and didn't come out in June for Yojo June because of the Star Wars HasLab. It basically forced everything to get pushed back. And I did ask somebody who he no longer works there, but he knows someone very intimately that works there on the on the Star Wars side, and he said, "Well, it goes. The reason you're saying you think that it got held back isn't entirely accurate, but it is on Lucasfilms." And what it ended up being, and he didn't tell me, but I was able to. The rumors that I had heard, and then everything that he said was the two twins. They hadn't locked down the rights to them yet.
Yeah, that's always been a problem.
So that's what they were working on, and it sounds like they had assurances that they would have it by the time it was supposed to go live, and they didn't. But all the tiers and everything were already done, so they kept working on it until they finally got the rights. It pushed everything back.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how likeness rights can hold everything up, and it's not like they were major actors. They just didn't have the likeness rights because they didn't have that shit when the movies came out originally. Because
imagine
they didn't have photoreal and all that stuff.
And I guess if you're one of those people where you're like, hey, I don't really care. I don't want my likeness out there. It's not about the money. And maybe it wasn't. And then finally, and I think it was only one sister that kept saying no. That's what it sounded like.
Well, that's the thing. If they're twins, you just need one of their likeness, and then you just use her kind of shady. But you know who doesn't want a figure of him made? And I think it's because of his religion is Tom Cruise. He will not allow action figures of himself with his likeness to be made.
Well, he did. Well, they did sue. They did sue Ace at Ramen. They sent a cease and desist.
Oh wow!
That's why the Aces of Aviation. If you ordered the 3, they gave you a Maverick head that had a likeness of Tom Cruise. They can't do anything if they give it away. That's the way he got away with giving it away.
Okay, so he actually made it. That's cool.
Yeah, because it was considered a giveaway. Like they weren't making any money off it. But again, when you try and do a Tom Cruise figure and Tom Cruise's lawyers send you a cease and desist, he probably has more money than you.
Yeah, I would pay. I don't like Tom Cruise. I haven't watched Tom Cruise movie in like 20 years, but I would not do that.
I think Tom Cruise makes amazing movies. I know Alice is about to jump in because she's like, oh my God, like Tom Cruise makes amazing movies. I don't care what you think of him.
I have no problem with the movies, but I can't separate the person from it. So I can't watch him because all I see is Tom Cruise.
But you know what's funny is that you hear all good things about him.
Yeah, but it's all an image. It's all an act. He's an actor, I don't think he's fundamentally a bad person. I just think that he's made the wrong choices along his path as who he associates with.
He has. So he definitely has. But I've heard a lot of people that have worked with him that have said, like, when it came to your kids, like you stop everything and you take care of your kids, your family. Like he's supposed to be that guy. Again, I mean, he's a Scientologist. I don't,
Yeah. That's
all I know is Top Gun Maverick was fucking awesome.
I've heard Maverick is really good, and maybe after he passes away, like probably 1,000 years from now, I'll watch it and be like, oh, it's a decent movie. But the last Tom Cruise movie I saw was like Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol.
The Mission Impossibles are good. I didn't see the last. I got to go see it, or it should be coming out anytime.
I'm sure it'll be streaming anytime soon. They had the likeness rights, but not for background. Oh yeah, for Star Wars. Stickler for scale. How tall would Tom Cruise's figure be? About 5'2", so like 5.4 inches.
He's 5'6" or 5'7".
With the platforms and his shoes.
I'm 5'4" on a good day, but I don't try and hide how tall I am.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to own it.
You gotta own it. It doesn't bother me. We know he actively tries to hide how tall he is. I'm sorry.
He's like, you gotta put me on a platform next to this guy so I don't look short next to them in the movie. And that's actors do that. You know, The Rock and Vin Diesel don't want to lose a fight to each other in a movie, so they won't make a movie together anymore. It's fine. It's toxic masculinity, but it's fine.
If I bagged Nicole Kidman in her prime, I don't give a shit if I'm walking in and she's 6 or 7 inches taller than me, or a foot taller than me in high heels. I know she's going home with me, so I don't really care, right?
Very true.
Like I had to feel like, would you be intimidated? I don't care. I know she's coming home with me, so I don't care if she's taller than me.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. As a lady who's taller, I'm like 5. I think I'm like 5'9". Height, it's just height. It's just a thing, you know. That's all it is.
They all say
another
that
number.
It's time to date a shorter guy.
Huh?
They all say that till it's time to date a shorter guy.
Yeah. But you know, it is what it is. Everyone's got their preferences, and that's fine. And my preference is I don't like Tom Cruise.
I laugh at the shortness thing on dating profiles when someone's like, if you're not at least 5'9", don't bother. And then you look at their height and you're like, you're 5'2".
Does it really matter?
If someone's like 5'9" and they're like, I'm not really into short, I can understand if someone's like 5'9" and like, hey, I'm not really into someone that's 5'2", 5. I understand preferences. But when you're like 5'2" and you're like looking for someone that's like 5'10", and you're like, don't even bother if you're shorter. Like, dude, who are you to talk?
I'm fun sized, but you have to be at least 6'5". It's like, why? You look short no matter what.
Now, right here, tutelar hair. How do you say it?
Titular heroine.
Titular. Okay, see, I gotta have her on still. I'm asking you right now. Message me. I don't know. I think I was told you only have Blue Sky. I'm not adding another social media. So if you have like an Instagram or Facebook, or you can even get on my email.
She has an email.
Yeah, email apunkwithtoys@gmail.com. I'd love to have you on, so please message me. Most guys don't care about the tallness. Like, they don't care. Because shorter guys are like me, like, hey, I don't care. Like, where are your boobs at? Oh, perfect.
That's funny. That's all that matters for some people. Easy access, you know? Oh, Lord. I think on that note, we should probably wrap up because we've been going for an hour and a half. I do, unfortunately, have to go to sleep and wake up super early, but I'm sure you have other things to do on a Saturday evening. But it has been lovely. Go ahead and plug yourself.
Well, thank you for having me. I had a blast having you on, getting to meet you. And I told the story before, like, you were on with the Same Time Toys, Shane, and the whole Maximum Spider-Man, all the Spider-Man. And I'm just like, oh, I need to say something. I need this. And I came on. We completely disagreed. We didn't see eye to eye, but we didn't yell and scream at each other. And the next thing I know, you messaged me saying, hey, you know what? And it was like, that's exactly how it should go. Because you can have completely different views on things in life. And you're allowed to, and you're supposed to. And yet you should, again, you can argue with someone and not argue and fight with them.
Yeah.
People think having an argument now is yelling and
it's called a disagreement, you know, a disagreement.
Yeah. And that's perfectly fine. That's how life, I don't want everyone to be like me.
Yeah, it's like we all have collecting in common, you know, like we should be fighting. We should be fighting the companies that make the toys that piss us off, not each other, you know? That's how it is.
No, thank you for having me on. Again,
no problem.
I enjoy doing this, and when I don't have to control anything, I don't have to write anything out. It works out best for me.
Yeah, you just get to talk, and that's what I like. Because usually I do my shows alone, like where I run down my members only and stuff. So it's nice to, if I run out of shit to say, I'm just like, hey, back to you. You know, it works out. What's up, Ronnie? Popping in at the end here, but catch the replay. It was a good show. It's
funny because I've had a lot of people talk about my Monday show, Gaines, Jerk, and them. They've all said the same thing, especially Gaines. He's like, you do it alone. I mean, it's so much harder. I'm like, I look at it completely different. I don't have to depend on anyone else. Yes, I'm stuck being me, right? I'm stuck in me to the point where like I don't have something to bounce, and that's why you hear a lot of fumbling of words or not. And I let the chat help me out, but I don't have to rely on anyone else, and it's just easier for me. So, you know, everyone has.
I mean, I like it. I can just be myself and say whatever the fuck I want. Sometimes it makes people mad, sometimes it doesn't, but it's my channel, so I can just say what I want, you know?
I'm with you 100%.
All right. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you, chat, for showing up. Like I said, I know Mega Powers was also running at the same time, so that we had like 20, 25 people consistently the whole time. That's awesome. I really appreciate every single one of y'all. My channel members, too. Shout out to y'all. So with all that being said, I love you. I'll see you next time. Thank you, Punk, for being on here, and bye-bye. Mwah.
Take care.
You hit the end stream.
Just wait 1 minute. I'm watching this new Rowdy Rolls video and it's really awesome. I don't want to miss it.
It's like the chick that reviews action figures and it's really freaking cool.
Yes, I think they saw some videos and there's some really good contents out there, you know?
She reviews the ponies and stuff because you knows I love ponies.
She doesn't review ponies. It's freaking cool stuff, Toki.
So, Morty, you're gonna have to shove these figures way up your butt.
Oh, jeez, Rick, kind of ruined the resale value.
What the fuck, Morty? Do you think we're fucking scalpers? No, I need these. These are for me, Morty. I want Psylocke and Thanos, Morty.
Oh, jeez, okay, Rick, can you spit on it? Why can't you do it?
Because these figures would fall right out of my ass, Morty. I've done this way too many times. I need you to do this for me, Morty. I need this. I need you to do this, Morty.